And hello again, everybody, and welcome to Gulfstream today, and welcome to a fantastic Friday afternoon of world-class thoroughbred action here in Hallandale Beach, Florida. 10 races on the program this afternoon. Track announcer Pete Aiello, joined by ace handicapper extraordinaire Ron Nicoletti. Ron, good to have you with us again.
Yeah, we got a fast main track, firm turf course. Pete, we got a special post time tomorrow on Saturday, our second leg of the Florida Sire Stakes Series. Here you see at 12 p.m. a 13 race card.
13 races, including a variety of stakes action. 3 rules take center stage again tomorrow for trainer Jose Pinchin, as well as the filly division with Cajun Delta Dawn from the barn of Dave Fawkes. They're both bidding for another victory this year.
Yeah, another victory, and halfway in the card, a return of in the vid stakes of Lochte, a grade 1 stakes placed horse. So it should be a really fun day of racing. And today, not too bad either, because we got a couple of, well, we got a really nice carryover a little later on in the Rainbow Six. But we start the day off today with our first of 2 pick fives. We got the Rolling Super High Five in race number 1. And if you're not aware, every time we have 7 runners or more in a field, we have the Rolling Super High Fives throughout the afternoon. Also, Pete, that as I mentioned, that first of 2 pick fives.
2 pick fives on the program. The Rainbow Six with the 10-race format begins today in race number 5. The Rainbow Six features a nice carryover here this afternoon of $165,999. It's a 20-cent play.
Yeah, we're going to end the day with our final pick 5 of the afternoon. So 10 races this afternoon, and we mentioned tomorrow. And don't forget, on Monday, we'll be here again. This is a holiday weekend, and we'll have a nice racing card on Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day racing. We have for today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. 4 more days of racing here in South Florida. We'll pick it back up again the following Thursday afternoon. 10 races to get to here this afternoon. Let's kick it off with race number 1, a fast main track, a firm turf course. And the first race is over that firm turf course, $10,000 claimers. Race 7.5 furlongs in here. A lot of the usual suspects, but we were talking to our cameraman and our what would we call him? I guess he would be our mental counselor from time to time, our Dennis Crocker, and he was commenting that he thought this race was very, very tough. And you commented you didn't think it was tough at all.
No, I'm going to show you my Rainbows, my early pick 5 ticket here, and I went 3 deep in here with 2, 4, and 5, and I think that's where the race goes through. 2, 4, and 5, 2 deep, 3 and 2, $36 ticket. Actually went, Pete, with the number 5 JC Mamba on top of my ticket, dropping to this $10,000 level, turning back to the 7.5 furlong distance. First start since a race where this horse stalked the pace, finished third. It was a 12-5 claimer going a mile. Was back on July 3rd. Chuck Simon, Matt Rispoli atop this son of Mamba.
You want some more good news as far as JC Mamba goes?
What's that?
The horse that beat him last time, Diaz, would come back to win and beat yesterday's feature race winner, Amigo, on the square. So Diaz took a step up and won again. JC Mamba certainly had a good company line last
There's
time.
that old key race angle that I'm very enamored with. And then the 2 horse who's currently on the board right now with over almost 60 minutes to post time is Highland Warrior, hoping to find a little more for the stretch run. Rallied to finish second at this level and distance last time out. Peter Walder, MCL Jaramillo in the saddle.
Well, I think much like you said at the top of the program, I think you have the right 3 horses in here, the 2, 4, and 5. But to Dennis's point, which one do you key off, or can you key off any of them? The number 4, Dominate, has a lot of things to like. He's been losing to sharp racehorses, including Fanbase, who came right back to win last time out. He lost twice to Tetradram, who came back to win each of those times.
Yeah, and he was very game last time out. He tried to make it 2 in a row today after parlaying that 3-wide charge into a score at the same level and distance.
Well, he should trip out pretty well in here. There is some speed, but there's not a ton of it, so that maybe adds a little bit of a wrinkle in the plot. Who goes when and where do they go? First race of the afternoon, as we mentioned, starts the early pick 5. Second race, 7 furlongs over the main track, $35,000 maiden set to go postward. Always Dude was in the Alsos the other day, scratched to run in this race. He is the morning line favorite, and he is the Nicoletti endorsement here.
Yeah, he dropped into the $35,000 level, breaking from the rail this afternoon. He went up last time. He pressed the pace. He faded to finish 4th, but that was against a maiden special weight competition at this 7 furlong distance. The trainer was Jose Pinchin, Cornelio Velasquez, and handling that inside draw this afternoon, and Jose Pinchin all his young horses have been running exceptionally well.
They sure have. Always Dude will take money on this drop in class, second start of his life with a rail draw. There are some things to like. There are some things not to like, so I don't think this is a horse that is singleable by any means.
No, because 7 furlongs out of that chute, there is always a bit of a concern, especially with young horses. The other horse I went to on my ticket was the 4 Vivid Image, who's stretching out to 7/8 of a mile, went up, tracked the pace, encountered some traffic, steadied in the last race along the rail, finished second against this level of competition, going 5/8. Luca Panici, who rode Always Dude last time out, stays with this Gerald Procino trainee.
Well, Kathleen O'Connell has 2 in here. One horse has a race, and it wasn't a very good one in Randy Sr., but Nunez picks up the call there. That's been the go-to rider lately. And the number 3, Western Journey, first-time starter for Kathleen, Tyler Gaffleone in the irons. I think Kathleen wins this race, just my opinion, but I don't know which one.
Well, Western Journey has been really working nicely at the Ocala Training Center. Those are series solid workouts, I thought. And you know, the exploits of Kathleen O'Connell. She does a fantastic job with her 2-year-old runners. You get 2 for the price of 1. Not really, because they're not coupled, but you can bet both of them in this race. This one is son of Circular Key, as leading jock Tyler Gaffleone in the irons. Talking about Western Journey, and you mentioned that Nunez will be on the other one, Randy Sr.
Yeah, Randy Sr. takes a drop in class. He lost to a horse who would eventually come back and run well. Zipping ended up getting a victory a couple starts later for Special Weight Company. Second race of the afternoon starts the early pick 4. Let's turn our attention to the third race. These are 2-year-olds of the allowance variety. 5 furlongs on turf here, and a horse that has the victory going 5 furlongs on the turf. Well, there's 2 of them. The number 5, Queen de Valais, who won by 6 and beat Foxy Joxy, who would come back to win.
Yeah, and I originally liked the horse that's scratching there, India Mantuana, the number 6. So I scratched into the number 5, Queen del Valle, as you mentioned. Stepping up today to face winners, responded last time to that surface switch with that commanding almost 7-length score against 35,000 maidens, going 5 furlongs on the turf. Pete, I also used the number 3 in here, Ocandrita, who's a daughter of Cantharos, who's certainly bred to handle the turf, stepping up to face winners. Stalked early in that race, drew away, through the lane, defeated 35 maidens, going 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Really like Cantharos when they go from dirt to turf.
I was going to ask you about that. I actually don't have enough of an opinion to have a comment on that. I will say this, though. It's always so tough when you're looking like a horse like number 3, Ocandrita, who really didn't do anything wrong in the debut, to figure out if she can handle something not going her way and what really her running style is. She went pretty quick in her debut run, but I don't think she's fast enough to make the lead in this race. Just my opinion. What will happen when she has to pass horses? Can she do it? I think she probably can.
Yeah, I think she's going to run well in there. I don't think there's any great shakes in here that, can upset her. I mean, I believe the breeding says she can handle the surface switch. That's the unknown. You mentioned Foxy Joxy, the 7, stepping up to face winners after dueling throughout, holding on to win 3/4 of a mile. Despite it, went back and looked at this horse, drifted a little bit in the stretch last time out. Was still game enough to win it. That's the 7, Foxy Joxy. So 5, 3, and 7 for me in there. And once again, scratch that number 6, India Mantuana.
Yeah, so no super high 5 opportunity in the third race, but you do have daily double and pick 3 wide options as well. Race number 4 on the program, maiden special weight for the fillies. These are $50,000 maiden special weight horses, and a horse who ran exceptionally well in her debut run. I thought better than her running line made it look, is number 2, Katinka.
Well, she's going to face open competition today after rallying from 10 lengths off the pace to finish third. That was her maiden special weight debut against state-bred competition. Mike Yates is going to have Jose Alvarez in the saddle again, and I want to show you a stat on Mr. Yates over the last 5 years with 2-year-olds making their second career start on the dirt. 6 for 36, 17%, 36% in the money, $1.67 ROI. So pretty nice stats there for a horse to run well. And I'm agreeing with you, Pete. I thought this horse ran very well in its debut.
Yeah, it definitely did. And scratch number 5, Enigmatica, who is out. So a field of 6 now. One of the morning line choices is number 7, Star Gala. Ran second behind a horse who was expected to win, and Celtic Moonlight.
Yeah, Star Gala stretching out to 3/4 of a mile after recovering from a little bit of trouble at the start, veered inward. I went back and looked at it. I didn't see much when veering. It was just a little bit. Straightened right out. Finished second, going 5.5. The trainer is Ian Hemingway. Luis Castillo atop this daughter of Wildcat Air, one of my favorite sires here in South Florida. So Star Gala. I split the Katinka and Star Gala with the 1 Dude Fantasy. Daughter First Dude debuting for Ralph Nix. So right away, you got to pay attention. 7 local workouts showing, gets Lasix, leading rider, Tyler Gaffleone, going to handle the inside post. You leave those connections out, sometime you get burnt.
Absolutely right, and a horse that I don't know if the horse is usable, but surely from a track announcer standpoint, I sure hope the 6 horse runs well in here. Look at Linda. I would have to imagine that would be named based off of the video that went viral a few months ago, the little boy arguing with his mother.
Oh, that one is the greatest video I remember. Is that what it's about? Oh, no wonder you were so happy about this. Look, Linda. That kid is so cute. I hope he wins, too.
Well, we're going to just watch about 30 seconds of that. We're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be back with more, including the Rainbow Six, right after this.
Next January, 12 horses, $1 million buy-in for a $12 million purse. It is the world's richest race. It is the Pegasus World Cup.
And we're back now on Gulfstream today with a preview of the Rainbow Six sequence. Once again, welcome to Gulfstream Park. Track announcer Pete Aiello, joined by ace handicapper extraordinaire Ron Nicoletti. We're at the midway point on the Friday program, race number 5, which begins the Rainbow Six, maidens on turf at 5 furlongs.
Yeah, let's go to my ticket here, and we'll show you the thoughts I had on the Rainbow Six. I went 2 deep here, 3 and 4, 2 deep, then 4 deep, 3, 3 and 2. Stepped it up because we're up there. That one over 150, $160,000. I went with a $57.60 ticket. You can use your ticket as a guide against mine. Pete, I thought the logical 2 in this race were the 3 and 4, and I know you had a backtrack on both Proud Mary Strikes and Dolce Surprise.
Yeah, I think they are the logical 2 based off their last performances, and you can draw your own conclusions from this. We'll take a look at it now. Dolce Surprise chasing the pace. Proud Mary Strikes far back in the early run. Proud Mary Strikes will close good ground. Dolce Surprise will have an inside lane, but just get flat out outrun while having to wait for room down inside. Cuts the corner nicely. There was a good trip for Dolce Surprise, but could not quicken with the eventual winner, who's in the green blinkers moving away. But Proud Mary Strikes finishes with good energy, Ronnie, I thought, gaining very good and catching Dolce Surprise for the runner-up position. Proud Mary Strikes was turning back, so stand to reason she would close good ground like that.
Yeah, I had him flip-flop, but I'm in agreement. I think the number 3 off that performance, Proud Mary Strikes, is going to take the bulk of the betting action in here, along with Dolce Surprise. The other horse I used, and I did not use on my Rainbow Six ticket, was the 7 Blackmail, hoping to find a little more for that stretch run. Closed strongly last time out, was third, 16-1 at this level in distance, but I think those are the right 2, the 4 and 3 or 3 and 4. I'm going to use them both.
Well, I think if you're Tyler Gaffleone on the number 4, Dolce Surprise, speed is your weapon of choice. You're fast enough to make the lead against this field here this afternoon. You had to chase last time, but you did make the lead 2 back. I think that's the right move.
Yeah, and if anybody will figure that out, it'll be Tyler Gaffleone. He does an excellent job with rating along the front end and everything. Proud Mary Strikes looks like might be a little pace dependent, going to have to come running late.
Absolutely right. We'll move now to race number 6, which starts the 50-cent Leap Pick 5. These are claimers in for a price tag of $6,250, and a horse that is getting ready to get more starts this year than your vehicle, Ronnie. 17 starts. This will be his 18th start of the year. Number 2, Papa Pig.
Tough beat last time out. I want to go back and show you the stretch run. I don't know if it was you, Pete, but I think you had someone in this race needed a Papa Pig to win it, but it comes flying at the end. It was Dennis, our cameraman. And Papa Pig, you're going to see this hard-knocking horse, comes flying at the end, Pete, and you picked him up about here if you heard the sound, and you said, here comes Papa Pig, and I said, this horse is going to win it. He just keeps coming. Great shakes, and I said, okay, he's got it, and he comes up a nostril short in that race.
Well, I'm glad Dennis didn't get to see that as close up as we did. He's sitting on the other side of the television. I'm be worried about another YouTube video of the guy smashing his TV. We could make another one here. Now, the thing about Papa Pig, he has made 17 starts this year, but he's no worse for the wear. He comes running. He's been running very, very well. Even his race 2 back was great against much, much better racehorses. Curlin's Gem, who beat him last time out, came back to run second behind a sharp winner in Van Holiday just a couple of days ago.
Number 1, Slicker's turning back to the 1-turn mile in the first start since going up. Tracking the pace in that race, finishing second at this level. That was going a mile in the 16th. Was back on June 12th, as we mentioned very often on the show. Mile in the 16th, around 2 turns with the first finish line. A 1-turn mile, certainly self-explanatory, is a 1-turn race. Right?
I'm just going to leave you hanging there. You deserve to be punished for making that comment.
19 starts at the distance with a couple of wins at that 1-turn mile.
This is a 1-turn mile?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Thank
Yeah.
you. Now, the number 1, Slicka, and the number 2, Papa Pig, who are 2 horses that are in good form. They both have something in common. They are both very much dependent on the pace of the race. There is no pace in this race. These horses will be against the bias as far as that goes tactically. The horse who I expect to set the pace, and I expect to take him gate to wire, is the horse who you had third on your ticket, Battleback John. Chased a super fast half.
Yeah, he's stretching out to a mile. He broke inward at the start a little bit, and then he went up, as you mentioned, Pete. He chased those solid fractions of 22-2 in the middle move of 44-4 before drifting out in the lane and finishing fourth, against open 6,250 claimers at 7 furlongs. You're absolutely right. He looks like the controlling speed in here. Papa Pig's got to come back. You just saw that replay. Certainly needs to come running late and everything like that. But I'm going to give Papa Pig. I'm not totally sold on Battleback John being able to stretch that speed to this 1-turn mile distance.
Well, he ran so good 3 starts ago while rallying from off the speed behind Running Cat, talking about the 3 Battleback John. And then last time out, he off duty just freaked. I mean, there was no other way around it. He ran a race so much better than he'd run in a long, long time. So Battleback John gets a pass for me on that last race. I'll focus on his race 3 back. If he runs it, he wins. Race number 7 on the card starts the 50-cent late pick 4. Maidens of the $20,000 variety. Tough race here, Ronnie. This race, for me, all button potential. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I went 4 deep in my Your Rainbow 6 ticket, if you remember. And the one I used on top, I believe, is 6-1 on the morning line, and that's Maw Exotic. This one is breaking from an outside post. That's post 9 today. And cutting back to 7.5 furlongs after stalking the pace, finishing fourth behind a repeat winner, Tearless. Now, remember that horse's name, because that one's running in race 9 today. That one on a 2-race win streak. So use this race as a handicapping guide for when you bet a little later on. That was a 20 maiden event contested at a mile. Ralph Nix, Edgar Zayas atop this daughter of Leroy Aswanamu.
You're getting closer. If you get that name right once, I'll be very impressed. Now, I'm going to give you some more fuel to the fire for Mo Exotic. Mo Exotic last time, as you said, got beat by Tearless. What you don't know is that the second horse in that race, August Lily, came back yesterday and walloped the boys at $35,000 level. So that's not italicized in your program because it just happened yesterday, and August Lily beat the boys with ease.
With ease. That was at least 8-10 lengths, I think, in that race. She just won as easy as she can, so that's a great angle there, Pete. Number 2, Fist Bump is stretching out around 2 turns. That's 7.5 furlongs here after closing from 6th and left to finish 4th against this caliber, going 5/8. I think this horse is going to be closer to the pace this afternoon.
7.5 furlongs, 2 turns here.
Yes, yeah. I'm keeping everybody abreast of the situation. How about the one, Sassy Estrays, dropping to this level, track the pace 4 wide, finish 5th behind a repeat winner called Vendita. That was a 40 maiden race at the distance. Manny Estevez, Matt Rispoli, handling that class release this afternoon. Is as simple as that. A horse dropping down, maybe runs exceptionally well in here.
Yeah, I think so. Sassy Estray ran deceptively well last time out as Vendita took him coast to coast and then came back to beat a pretty good field after that. So nothing wrong with that company line or that race. She only got beat 3 lengths for it all.
And the number 3, Fazzle Dazzle, shipping in from New York, didn't run very well up there into the David Forksman, Cornelio Velasquez in the saddle. Made this horse my long shot today. Thought it'd be bigger odds because he didn't run that well up in New York in his turf races against a little better competition. The drop's certainly going to help in here. I thought I'd get a better price, and these horses have been catching me all the time. I don't pick them. I want them to have a race over the track. The New York shippers, and they all run well.
Well, this horse has been here a while, at least since the first part of August. So the whole running off the van anti-angle that I use doesn't apply because I know this horse has been here. Was 91-1 last time out and only beat 1 home, 6-1 on the morning line here today.
Yeah, I thought I'd get better odds, as I said.
Well, let's turn now to the 8th race, the start of the late pick 3, an allowance optional claiming event at 6 furlongs. Pretty tough race in here. A field of 7. Thought all of them had a pretty much a good shot. Tenango was the likely favorite in here. Lost to High Riverside last time out. Ran a 93 buyer, one of the best he's ever run, and certainly the best race he's run in about 2 years.
Yeah, he moved to the Luis Lunabon after that claim. Has turned it back to 3/4 of a mile. Tracked the pace 4 wide. Finished second to the horse you mentioned. A repeat winner, High Riverside, going 7 furlongs. Apprentice Carlos Hernandez in the saddle. So get some weight break this afternoon with the number 2 Tenago. But you're absolutely right, Pete. This is a wide open affair. Went with the 7 Restaurant in second. Rant in second. Restaurant or Restaurant should be primed and ready to offer more. Returned from about a 9-week freshening. Finished third at this level and distance. Trainer Leo Gabriel Jr. doing an excellent job. He's got Luca Panici. This is a 4-time local winner. Seems to like it around here. 4 starts, 23 starts, 4 wins, 5 seconds, 4/3.
Restaurant's just honest. He tries every time he runs. Certainly nothing wrong with that. Certainly the theme of this race, even the 6 Ranger in Paradise, the only time he ran poorly was on turf, and that was off of a long layoff.
And he finished second in front of Restaurant last time out. And, he's listed as a gelding today. Angel Rodriguez, Edgar Zayas in the irons. He's going to take a lot of money in here just because of the connections. Every time you see someone from the Frank Calabrese barn, they always take some money. But I'm going to go with Tenago Restaurant. I used all 3 on my Rainbow 6 ticket.
Don't like Tenango. Try to beat him. I'd use everybody but him just because I think he'll be favored, and he's a horse that's worth trying to beat in my view. 9th race, first half of the late daily double, a state-bred allowance race at 1 mile. Another race that is not going to be easy if you're a multi-leg player. Just too many contenders to use. Tearless has been awful good. She's won her last 2 races, but a horse who impressed us. We both liked this horse last time out. She ran well off the layoff. I like the way she did it, and I don't think we've seen her best stuff. Your top play, Tisbo.
Yeah, number 4, Tisbo, is stepping up to face winners. I thought that was a hard-fought, impressive maiden score. And why not go back and show you the stretch run of that race from the top of the lane to the wire? This one was coming off, I believe, an 11-month layoff here and was being challenged by the favorite in that race, Freedom March, and was very, very game in victory, Pete.
Yeah, and I thought that, I didn't think it was her best race. I mean, she certainly improved in her first start as a 3-year-old, but I think there's more to her. I think that she's going to get better here this afternoon. And I don't think she has to get much better to win it. She ran very, very well there. I like that race, and I like the way she came out of it.
Well, we got some good news with that horse and bad news. The stat here, good news, bad news stat. The trainer Ronnie Werner over the last 5 years. Maiden winner last out on the turf. He's only 2 for 20, 10%, 45% in the money. That's good, but only a 43-cent ROI. So the food for thought in here. Put it that way, Pete.
Well, at least you know that his horses run well. It's not like they bounce to the moon. 45% in the money's quite all right.
Yeah. At Tealish, you mentioned this one undefeated, 2 previous races on this turf course, stepping up the competition, trying to make it 3 in a row. Sandra Silka, and has Eddie Castro in the irons.
Yep, another one with a big chance, as does the 8 Miss Violet. I think the 8 is, of the horses that are supposed to take money on the morning line, I think the 8 is the most likely horse that I would try to beat in here, with maybe your other 2 horses, the 4 and the 7. With a kiss, ran super good last time out, but is back up in class today.
Yeah, and I mean, you're going to take money. She showed a fondness for the local turf before the layoff. She was, makes her first start since following a 50,000 maiden score. Comes back, runs third at 50 Starter Company on July 16. People are going to see that and vote, and actually the morning line favorite and lean towards that. They're going to see that $50,000 there. I'm not convinced that that's that much of a drop in competition for this horse.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. You have to know the levels and the way we rate the races here at Gulfstream Park. And if you do, or you watch this telecast on a regular basis, you can get a little bit of a competitive advantage that way. Let's turn now to the 10th race, running out of opportunities for pancake wagers. And I can tell you, fans, there won't be one because Ronnie likes the same horse as me in the last race. He went 2-0 on me yesterday. We're tied up. And now this is a non-day, so we have 3 more days to settle the score there. We both like the rail horse, just a little bit stormy. Maidens on turf at 5-8.
Yeah, this one's set the pace third at this distance. 2 starts back, turns back, opened that early 4-length lead prior to fading to 4th against Winners. That was a 35 optional claimer. Made this one my best bet in the afternoon, going back with maidens. I know you wanted to show this horse's performance. The trainer is Patrick Biancon.
I have no argument of any kind for you making this horse your best bet of the day. Simply look at this last round, the race 2 back that we're going to show you now. Just a little bit stormy, does all the heavy heavy lifting under apprentice jockey Kyber Rengifo, and it's going to turn first off the top of the turn. Eventually, the winner is Spicy in the green cap there up the inside. Silver Diva's in the gray on the far outside and the yellow bridle there. Silver Diva's going to come back. Again, these are made in 35. Right. Silver Diva would break maiden against special weight, and Spicy was actually well regarded that day. As you can see, 9-5 favorite was Spicy. It was a good run from just a little bit stormy. If you're telling me that that race doesn't win this race, I guess we'll just agree to disagree.
Well, we do agree, so we can't even argue about it. So that's out the window today, and it just doesn't feel right. Pete agreeing with me this much this afternoon seems like weird. Number 11, Parker Elizabeth, moved to the Mike Maker barn after the claim. It debuts on the turf, showed speed and faded to 5th. That was her 30,000 career debut at Churchill. It was on the main track. It's a daughter of English Channel, bred to love the lawn. Mike Maker has been bringing horses here and doing similar things, and they've all been running well. And I think this horse deserves a spot on the ticket. I believe it is second choice on the line. That one, I don't know about second choice, but I think this horse can run okay.
I was just going to say, I really wish I had some other opinion in this race, because I'd love to make a side wager with you for pancakes because the 11, because I don't like the 11 at all, which is even more the reason that I like the 1. If the 11 is accorded the second choice on the morning line, which is probably the right way to go, to me, that just means the 1 is that much the best.
Number 3, Can Do Kate, a daughter of winner early sire Wildcat Air, debuting for who? Kathleen O'Connell, series of 5 furlong work showing at the Ocala Training Center on that synthetic surface they have up there. Lasix Luca Panici in the saddle today.
Well, with Luca Panici riding, you know one thing. This horse will have to rally from off the speed. She won't be part of the pace, not with Luca riding anyway. Or if she is, then everyone's going to be in a lot of trouble. When Luca gets on the lead, it's usually lights out.
Yeah, you know, Pete, you see we have we're running a little fast on time today because we didn't argue for our normal 3-4 minutes today. Everything was copacetic.
Yeah, indeed it was. It was copacetic, and you mentioned something. I almost said it earlier, but since we have time, I have to mention it again. You mentioned tomorrow we have 7 stakes races with 13 races on the program. 12 noon first post time, and in race number 6, the Vid Stakes, Lochte will be here. That's true. It's not a lie. I
had to get that in there. Lochte, of course, what a swimming fool he turned out to be, not the horse. So anything else, Pete, before we sign off?
I think you should sign off on that. I'll let you sign off with that in mind.
Well, about 32 minutes to post. I'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes, but as soon as this show wraps up, Pete will be right back. Update you on all the scratches, changes, everything you need to know to have a winning day here at Gulfstream Park. Let me fix those teeth. I couldn't get that last word out.